So it made it to number 3, and weaker Merkel is really the Europe risk. And the reason that we put that gloss on it, or that spin, was because 2017, like 2016, is a year that you're going to see lots of risks in Europe. You're going to see a lot of terrorism, unfortunately, a lot of refugees. You're going to see very weak leadership. You're going to see a continued Greek economic crisis, the potential for banking crises in Italy and elsewhere. You're going to see a French election and a Dutch election that could both go very badly. And if Marine Le Pen wins in France, which, as you say, is certainly plausible, and while if the election were today, she'd lose, you know, Russia just set up RT in France. They're clearly going to have an effect on the election. Trump and Bannon are going to have an effect on the election. Breitbart, the alt-right. I do not feel comfortable saying Le Pen can't win in France. So that would be a hammer blow to the EU. You're absolutely right. But the thing that's different, because 2016 also had all of this stuff, a lot of which was going to go wrong, and Brexit is a pretty big deal, right? And by the way, Brexit's going to take many years to play out. If Marine Le Pen were to win in France, the Front National would still not have the seats in the French Parliament to be able to get a referendum in or out on Frexit passed. So it would take much longer before that hammer blow would actually hit. So, I mean, people say 2016 was a horrible year, but Brexit, you voted for it, but nothing's happened yet, right? So what's really different about 2017 is that over the course of the last number of years, despite all of these risks that have hit Europe, Merkel was a very strong leader. And it's funny, she was Person of the Year a year ago. And for my sins, I'm the foreign affairs editor at columnist for Time Magazine. And so I get to have a voice in the Person of the Year contest. And so last year, I made a very strong argument that we needed to give it to Merkel. And we did. But my argument was the reason we needed to give it to her was because it was the last year we could ever do it. So if you cared about the strength of the role that she's played in all these years, and it was already clear, because you were already seeing the Volkswagen scandal percolate, it was already clear that it was deteriorating. I'm like, no, but if you want to give it for the whole year, give it to Merkel this year. And because no way for 2016, 2015 was fine. 2017, Merkel's going to be a lot weaker, and she'll still win her election, but she's going to have a smaller coalition, fewer seats. It's going to be more fragmented. She's going to have to go populist and give up on a lot of things that matter to her, like the willingness to accept refugees, like a strong level of austerity. And so the big difference in Europe in 2017, all of these risks still hit, but you don't have the ability of Germany to lead the charge to respond, and that really reduces the resilience of Europe going forward. They would have made Europe would have made number 2 clearly, maybe even number 1 again if Hillary Clinton had won the election, but she didn't. And so that really suddenly means that the United States and the forces that emanate from it become the dramatic driver of political risk in 2017, and also make 2017 the most significant year for political risk, sort of since the end of World War II.